What's up, guys? In today's video, I want to talk about our 2020 Model Y. We have now had it for 1 year, and I want to give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. Stay tuned. Okay, so like I said in the intro, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of owning our Model Y. It's like I said, it's a 2020, and we got it on March 24th, 2020. And our Model Y is actually one of the first ones in this area. Our VIN is 802. And we got it basically right before they shut down for the pandemic, for COVID. So we were super thankful because our Model X lease was coming up. So we had to make a decision on whether we should get a Model Y or whether we should buy out our Model X. And we decided to let the Model X go and buy the Model Y. So let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to talk about the good first. We absolutely love our Model Y. It is my wife's main vehicle. We do use it as our family vehicle also, but my wife, basically that's all she drives. She never drives my Model 3. And honestly, as much as I love my Model 3, my silver Model 3, I love the way that it looks, I love the way that it drives. I actually like driving the Model Y better, and the reason is because I like the seat height. And as much as beautiful as the Model 3 is, the Model Y is actually more comfortable, and it's why I want to get a Cybertruck. I like bigger vehicles, I like sitting up. So as much as I like the Model 3 and the way that it looks, the Model Y is very, very practical, which gets into the first thing that we really like. It's the size.
That's what she said. Oh my God, what am I saying?
We really like the size of the Model Y. It's a little bit smaller than the Model X, but it's not a lot smaller, and it's perfect for us. We don't have to deal with the falcon wing doors that we had with the X, and the Model Y is just very, very practical. I like the seating position. My wife loves the seating position, so that's one of the things that we really like about our Model Y so far is just the size of it. It's basically perfect for a small crossover SUV. One of the other things we really like about the Model Y after having it now for a year is we really like the glass roof. So with the Model X, with the falcon wing doors, your view is kind of blocked off. You do have smaller windows on each side of where the doors are, but it's not as open as the Model Y. The Model Y, and even over the Model 3 is really nice, but you have a pillar that's basically right behind you right here. Well, with the Model Y, the glass roof is completely open, and it just makes the space feel very, very large and just open. It's really cool whenever there's clouds in the sky. I mean, my son has watched airplanes fly over while we're driving. That's one of the things that we really like so far about the Model Y. The other thing that we like is the ride quality. It actually rides really well. You know, we came from the Model X as our family vehicle, and the Model X is very, very comfortable with the air suspension. So my wife was a little worried that she wasn't going to like it, but it actually has been fine. So the ride quality to us, I mean, it rides actually better than my Model 3, even though the suspension, I believe, is very, very similar. We think it's great. We have the 20-inch induction wheels, and the ride quality would actually be a little bit better if we had the 19-inch wheels because it gives you a little bit more rubber on the sidewalls for a cushion. So, you know, with the 20-inch wheels, it still rides really well, and we've been really happy with it. The other thing that we really like is the hatch, the auto hatch and the auto trunk. We love the way how open, when you open up that trunk, how spacious it is. It feels like, I mean, basically it's just as much room as a Model X. It's really close. I measured it out in one of my older videos, and we really like the space back there compared to the Model 3. We really like the space, and you know, for people that are coming from gas cars, I believe that they're going to really like that too. I believe it's one of the reasons that the Model Y is so popular right now is because of that auto hatch and how when you fold the seats down, there is just a lot of room. We also like the black trim that they decided to put on Model Y, and now they're also putting it on Model 3. That was a great idea, and that was a great move by Tesla to go with that, because that's kind of where design in cars is going. And to put that black trim on there, it keeps you from having to do a chrome delete, and it looks great. I really like the color of it, and now they're doing that on Model 3 too. So that's one of the things. My wife also really likes the black trim. She wasn't crazy about the chrome trim on the Model X, and we were going to actually do a chrome delete, but it was a lease, so we just decided to leave it stock. So she really likes the black trim, and I like the black trim also. One of the main things that we really like about, and this goes in the very good category, is we have had no maintenance. So we've had this car a year, it'll be a year and a couple of days, and we have had no maintenance on this vehicle. Basically, I'm going to change the filters, not because I have to, just because I want to, but I'm going to change the filters to some filters that Tesmanian sells. I also changed the filters in our Model 3 because I bought my Model 3 used, and it was a couple of years old, and I knew that they had never been changed, so I decided to change the filters and put the better filters in there. I'll put a link in the description for the filters that I used, but you can use them in both Model 3 and Model Y. And so the only maintenance that we've had literally is I'm going to change the filters in a year. I haven't even put windshield washer fluid in it. So that's pretty cool to have a car for a year. We're basically at about 8,000 miles, and I've done nothing to it. We'll see what happens in the future, but so far it's been pretty much maintenance free. So one of the things we can talk about is the modifications that I have done to our Model Y. I don't know that you can throw it in the good category or the bad, or I just think I changed them just to make it our own. It's not necessarily good or bad. Some people might not like the mods, some do. I just want to show you guys what we've done to our Model Y so far. One of the first things I did is I changed out the wood grain on the dash. Technically I didn't change it out, I just covered it up. So I put a matte black plastic piece basically that sticks over the wood, and it was from RPM Tesla. There's some older videos that you can go back from about a year ago where I changed that out. And I changed it just because neither my wife or myself really liked the wood trim, so we decided to change that out. We also did the same thing for the center console. We decided to cover up the glossy black on the center console with some matte black pieces, also from RPM Tesla. They basically stick down to the center console. It just covers it up and it makes it match the dash. So that's why we did it, and we were trying to get rid of as much glossy black as possible. So one thing to mention as a side note, the new Model Ys do not look like our Model Y. They have now changed the dash, and they got rid of the glossy black, and they redesigned the console a little bit. I also believe that eventually they're going to be changing the dash and the door panels more like the Model 3s in China. And I don't know when that's going to happen. No one knows when that's going to happen. Eventually, I believe they will change those items to match what's going on in China. But for now, the new Model Ys, and I've seen them in the wild, they do have the new center console, which is not glossy black, and they also changed the door switches. So our door switches are glossy black. The new ones are matte black that go along with what the new center console looks like. I think it looks great. I don't regret getting our car when we did because we've had it for a year and we've got to enjoy it for a year. But I do like the new center console's grown on me a little bit, but I do like the fact that it's matte and the door switches are matte black also. One other thing that we added to our Model Y was a spoiler. The performance Model Ys, they all come with a carbon fiber spoiler. Well, ours is just an all-wheel drive, so it did not come with a spoiler. I also decided to do something a little bit different, and I decided instead of going with carbon fiber, because I wasn't trying to make it look like a performance Model Y, we just like the look of a spoiler. So we did something a little bit different. I ran it by the wife. She really liked the white spoiler. So we put a white spoiler that matches the white of the car. And to me, it looks really, really good. I've gotten several compliments on it, how they like the way that it matches the paint. So we added that, and you know, you can add there's different spoilers out there that you can buy, but ours is from Tesmanian. I also did a video on that a little while back, and you can see that in my channel if you want to look it up in the details on that. But you know, we really like the spoiler, so that's one of the other things that we added. We also added a screen protector, a matte screen protector from Elon Accessories. We really, really like this screen protector. It really prevents fingerprints and so forth, and it cuts down the glare on the screen. So we added that. That was one of the first things actually that I added, and because the screens are just like the Model 3, that was super easy. They had already had them available, so we added that right away. I would highly suggest you getting a screen protector, whether you get a regular one that's not matte or a matte one. We like the matte one, but you know, take your pick. Also, one of the first things we did is I took it to the tint shop. So on Model Y, it comes with the passenger windows and the rear window are tinted, and they're tinted about 18 to 20%. It's hard to know exactly because I didn't compare it exactly. But we decided to put ceramic tint, 18% by Suntech, on our front two windows. So it's 18% on the driver and 18% on the passenger. And that makes a big difference. It definitely makes a big difference in the look, and the 18% goes really well. I've gotten asked that a lot about what tint did we go with, so hopefully that helps answer that. We did 18%, and eventually I may even tint the roof. We haven't tinted it yet, and we've had it for a year, and we went through a summer here last year that was, you know, in the hundreds, and it wasn't a big deal. So I don't know if I'm going to tint it or not, but we'll see. But for now, that's all we have as far as tint, is just the front two windows. Also, as a side note, the new Model Ys, which ours does not, it comes with double paned windows. I don't know how much it helps. I've heard that it helps, but ours doesn't have that. Just a side note, just to let you guys know for information purposes, the new Model Ys do have the double pane front windows. Since our Model Y was so early, our Model Y did not come with a blanket that covers the heat pump. To me, it wasn't really loud or obnoxious or anything, but the new ones all come with a shield or a blanket that covers the heat pump that cuts down on the noise. We had that added after the fact. We had our Model Y probably for 4 or 5 months before we had it added. We did add it. It comes that way now, so it's not a big deal. But honestly, I didn't really notice maybe a little bit difference in the noise. But you know, the new ones come with it anyway, so it's not really a big deal. We also added all-weather mats by Tesmanian. I did a video a while back on those also. You can check it out on my channel. We love these mats. The first thing we wanted to do was get rid of those carpeted mats because they just get dirty and they're hard to clean if you get mud or get anything in them. So we decided to go with Tesmanian, the all-weather mats from Tesmanian, and we could not be happier. So we put them in the front two seats, we also put them in the passenger area, and we also put them in the trunk. Well, actually, we also put them in the front. So we've got them basically everywhere that you can possibly get them. We also got the seat back mats for the second row seats to go up against the seats, so when you lay the seats down, the back of the seats are protected. I cannot recommend these mats enough. They are great, and we've had them for a long time now, and they're holding up great. So just a big plug for Tesmanian. If you're looking for all-weather mats, they are definitely a way to go. One other thing we decided to add was a custom license plate. It's my wife's main car. It is our family vehicle that we basically use when we travel as a family. But it's my wife's main car, so she wanted to have a custom license plate done. I got that done by Tony at 1975 Creations. He did it for us, and it looks really, really good. You can also check out my wife's website if you want to check it out right here. The matte black license plate looks really good with a car. It goes really well with the black trim and all. So check out 1975 Creations. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. And thank you, Tony, for sending that to my wife. Another thing we added were black badges. So the stock Model Ys come with a chrome front emblem and a chrome rear emblem. I took those off and had them replaced. The front emblem is from RPM Tesla. It's basically they do a switch out. So you send them your chrome badge and they'll send you a matte black one. On the rear, I removed that and I put the Roadster style lettering on the back. More on that falls into the ugly category in a little bit. So wrapping up about the good, there are a lot of things that we really like about the Model Y. Even though ours is a year old and they've changed some things, like they've changed the center console and they've added the double pane glass and they've added the blanket for the heat pump. You know, a lot of small changes, but that's what Tesla does. They will make incremental small changes as the cars. They don't change year to year. They just make, when they come up with an improvement, they change it and they make things better. It might be a small thing, but it's to make the cars better and better over time. But overall, having this car for a year, we love it. We've had really no problems with it, and we can't recommend the Model Y enough. It's a great car overall. Okay, now it's time to get to the serious topic, the bad and the ugly. Let's talk about the bad first. Are you ready? Okay, there's only a few things. So one of the things that we don't like, and I throw this into the bad category, is on our rear seats, one part of the seat sits a little higher than the other. Is it a big deal? Not really. And on the new ones, I've noticed that they fixed that problem, and I don't know if it's a seat adjustment. I don't know. I've talked to the service center about it. They say that, you know, there's nothing they can really do. Is it bad? You know, yeah, because I would like for it to be even. Is it like we hate our Model Y because of it? No, not at all. Like, after a year of having it, I don't even pay attention to it anymore. But when I was going to film this video, doing different shots of the car, I noticed it again because I was getting up close and I paid attention to every little thing. And I remembered that, yeah, that kind of still bothers me. But we still love the car. It's a small thing, but we still love the car. And the new ones, I think they fixed the issue, so it's not a big deal. One of the other things that I put into the bad category, again, it's not a deal breaker, but on our rear bumper versus the trunk lid, the white in certain light, and you've seen this with Tesla, and it's not just Tesla actually, it's a lot of other car manufacturers too. But because of the different materials of the bumper and the trunk lid, sometimes the white can look a little bit off. Like it doesn't match perfect. And they say that there's nothing they can do about it. I talked to them about it. They said they could replace the bumper. The problem is we may wait a month for a bumper and it come in and it look exactly the same. So does it bother me? I mean, when I look at it in certain light, it's not all the time. I'll go, man, that doesn't quite look right. But again, it's not a deal breaker and there's really nothing they can do about it. It happens on all manufactured cars. It depends on the way they painted each part of the vehicle. Again, it's very, very slight. Most people don't even notice it, but I'm pretty particular and I notice it. And I showed it to my wife and of course now she notices it, but she never noticed it before. So is it a bad thing? Yes, I would throw it in the bad category again, but it's not a deal breaker. So the other thing that I guess we could throw into the bad category is the efficiency. My Model 3, or any Model 3, is way more efficient than the Model Y. Well, that's to be expected. We have 20-inch wheels. It's a bigger vehicle that sits up. Of course it's not going to be as efficient. So do I wish it was a little bit more efficient? Yes, but it's way more efficient than our Model X was. So I'm throwing this in the bad category. It's really not that bad. But if you got the Model Y with the 19-inch wheels with the Gemini wheel covers on it, your efficiency would actually go up. So it's all about that efficiency versus looks. There's a lot of people I see riding around with the 19-inch Geminis, and I know their efficiency is better than ours. We wanted the 20-inch black induction wheels, so we're willing to take a hit on that. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, I am throwing it into the bad category because the efficiency is worse than kind of what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the ugly. And really, it's only one thing. One thing that I would say is the ugly. And it doesn't even apply to Model Ys that are currently produced. So when we got our Model Y, like I said, it was a super early VIN. At that time, they started putting holes in the trunk lid and in the hood. So on every Tesla that we've owned, I've always did some small modifications and small customizations. One of the first things that I did when I saw the Roadster reveal back in like 2018, I guess it was, the next gen Roadster, or maybe it was 2017. Anyways, when I saw that vehicle, when I saw the rear, it had the ts.la on it, and I love that. And at the time, I went back and I started looking, and even the original Roadster has the ts.la on it. And I love how that looks on the trunk lid. Well, right after I got my first Model 3, that was in early 2018, I saw that Franz had put the ts.la on his Model 3. And he also had black trim, which was way before anybody was doing that. And so I saw that and I knew, oh, I've got to do that. I've got to do it. Well, the problem was my car was such an early car, there was really nothing available at the time. There was nothing, you couldn't buy those. Well, I found them through Abstract Ocean, and so I decided to put that on the car. And I've done it on all three Model 3s that I've had, and I put it on the Model Y. Well, when I went to pull the badges off the front and the rear, well, there were holes in the trunk lid and in the front. And I was so disappointed. I was like, oh no, how am I gonna fix this? So I had to think outside the box. So I actually went and had the trunk filled in and painted, and it cost about $600 to do that. But at the time, I thought that was the way that Tesla was going to do them from there going forward. I didn't know what their plans were going forward, so I decided to take a leap of faith and just get it done because I really wanted those Roadster style letters on the back. Well, of course, maybe 4 or 5 months later, they stopped putting the holes in the trunk and in the front. That's my luck, right? But we're not upset. You know, we still love the way the car looks, and you know, it was something we decided at the time, and we wouldn't have been able to have the Roadster style letters without filling in those holes in the trunk. So we don't, you know, I'm not upset about it, but I throw that into the ugly category because it's money that I wish that we didn't have to spend at the time. This video up after 1 year of ownership, we could not be happier with our Model Y. My wife really likes it. I really like it as our family vehicle. I'll probably go with the Cybertruck as our family vehicle once that comes out, but I digress. Anyways, we love the Model Y and we could not be happier with it. There are some small things that we've had, you know, issues with that we're not super happy with, but looking at as a whole or the big picture, we are really happy with the Model Y and we could not recommend it enough. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want to check out the Model Y, go on Tesla's website, look at the features. You can use my referral code if you want to buy a Model Y. It's ts.la/MARC57969. That's MARC57969. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and maybe we'll do a 2-year review too. But if you have any questions, leave some comments down below or ask the questions down below. I'll do my best to answer them. So we'll see you guys on the next video. And check out Staman. Thanks for the hat, Eli.